we'll make a table which will differentiate between economic growth and economic development. Okay. Economic growth, economic development. Clear? Economic growth and economic development. Economic growth is basically a unidimensional concept. Means only increase in production. Okay, or increase in real GDP, or increase in real per capita income. Already discussed. It is a multi-dimensional concept. Multi-dimensional concept. Okay, growth plus well-being. Growth plus well-being. Economic growth plus well-being. Economic growth plus well-being. Okay. It means here only production increases, here production plus social welfare increases. Improvement in social welfare. Improvement in social welfare. Clear? Improvement in social welfare. Okay. This is very much measurable in terms of GDP, in terms of per capita income. So it is a quantitative concept. It is a quantitative concept. Development, a qualitative concept or a quantitative concept. When you see that here we have growth also, here we have well-being also, so it is qualitative and quantitative. But please understand, this growth in economic development is not looked separately. It is looked as overall improvement in well-being. Okay, so it is purely based on a quality analysis. So it is also called qualitative concept. Some books also write it qualitative as well as quantitative, but my analysis says it is only qualitative, because in economic development, economic growth is not studied in isolation. It is studied in collectivity. Get the point? Along with growth, you study the social well-being improvements. Okay, so in economic development, economic growth is not studied separately. So you cannot say GDP plus our global hunger index rankings. No, global hunger index only will show how much good you are in the food and nutrition side. Get the point? So economic growth is basically a qualitative concept to me. Qualitative concept to me. Okay, so this is a real objective of a country, or this should be the real objective? This one should be the real objective, or this one? So what is this then? If this is the objective, what is this? It is a process or a means to attain that objective. So it is a means, not an end. It is a means, not an end. Okay, and it is an end. It is an end slash ultimate objective. It is an end, it is an end. I have just substituted it with the word ultimate objective so that you may not understand end means over. Okay. So it is an ultimate objective. Okay. Can economic growth be achieved without economic development? Yes. You have to increase the size of GDP, na? If you cannot increase production of rice, wheat, vegetables, clothes, increase the production of tobacco, alcohol, poppy, opium, still GDP will increase. Still economic growth will be there. Okay, but at what cost it will come? Economic development will be zero. Okay, because poverty will be at the peak. Because to get a copy, you will not be ready to sell your organ, but to get one shot of opium, the opium addict will be ready to sell an organ. So we'll be ready to. I have seen people with drug addiction selling their, not kidneys, please, selling their blood group, selling their blood. Okay, selling their blood for $500. $500. I will donate one 1 point of blood. Okay, you need O positive, I have O positive count. Okay, the only thing is the one whom you inject O positive in needs a shot of drug to wake up. Get the point? Because he's a drug addict and he is selling that blood. I have seen these sort of crimes mostly in North Indian belt, particularly in the state of Punjab, now spreading gradually, having the Yes, spreading effects to other states also. Okay. The point here is economic growth is attainable without economic development. Okay. But economic development can seldom be attained. Very rarely, not possible. Because you need resources. The one whom you have to say we will reduce poverty, you need some income. You need GDP. You need national income in order to reduce poverty. Clear that? So this is attainable without this, but this cannot be attained without this. Seldom. You can write economic growth can be attained without economic development. Can be achieved without economic development. Economic growth can be achieved without economic development. Economic growth can be achieved without economic development. Okay? Economic growth can be achieved without economic development. But economic development on the other side of the table you will write, it can seldom be achieved without economic growth. It can seldom be achieved. It can seldom be achieved. It can seldom be achieved without economic growth. Can seldom be achieved without economic growth. Clear that? It can seldom be achieved without economic growth. Okay. How can you measure economic growth? Indicators. What are its indicators? Yeah, its indicators are GDP, GNP, or per capita income, etc. Okay. Real GDP, real per capita income. Clear? What about economic development? Very good. Another. Global Hunger Index, Gender Development Index, Multidimensional Poverty Index, Gender Inequality Index, Sustainable Development Goal Index, SDG India Index. Okay, a lot of indices are there. Okay, all the indices I will be dealing very thoroughly. Clear? So write down Human Development Index, HDI, Economic Development Indicators. Indicators are HDI, GDI, Human Development Index, Gender Development Index, GHI, Global Hunger Index, GHI, Global Hunger Index, MPI, Multidimensional Poverty Index, Multidimensional Poverty Index, Multidimensional Poverty Index. Clear? So these are all the indices which are basically important for checking whether a country is on the track of economic development or not. Clear that? Okay.